Hi, this is Jen again. Welcome back to the channel. We have not done a video about maybe about 4 to 5 months. I have to apologize here because it was so busy the last few months because there was series of new launches and those are very good launches on the last few months. So I was very busy with all those, and then of course I have some clients who are interested in this. So we've been studying, analyzing, and actually we did close some units during the last few launch. Happy for me, and now today I'm here to update you what has been happening in the market for the last few months. Okay, October has been the most exciting month since the last few months of new launches. Why? Because there were a series of blockbusters launches in the market. Taking example like Sky at Holland's, Penreef, Zion Grand, The Sand, Faber Residence. And all this actually has boosted up the sales solely only in October, not only their own sales, it also drives the sales surrounding and even in other districts. Okay, let's dive down into the figures, and these prices or these figures might surprise you. Okay, now let's dive into the latest market movement, which are across all the districts. The top district that sell the highest figures are actually all in the new launches like District 3. Okay, basically District 3 have new launches like Penreef, which sold 96% during the launch day itself, and for Zion Grand is 83%. Okay, not only both of them are selling well, it also helps the project next door, which is Promenade Peak. Basically, it was launched a few months before these two projects launched in October. And guess how many units Promenade Peak sold in September? 6. And now guess how many units they sold in October? 44 units. So you can imagine these two projects that in District 3, not only they sell very well, they also help the projects around them sell too. Well, it is a clear spillover effects from the excitement generated by these two projects in the district. Okay, why? Why does the new launch of two projects does affect so much on the project that's already launched many months ago? Why? Because these two projects was oversubscribed many times. So people in the queue, which are not in the front, while they were waiting for the queue to be called, they seen this unit sold. Every time a queue called, unit sold. Unit fly over the shelf. Their favorite unit while waiting in the line was sold already. And they were afraid that once it comes to their queue, they wouldn't have a chance. And as they also inquires about the projects nearby, or even the agent might call them, okay, do you want to buy? Because people are rushing into the projects to buy because they can't get any unit in these two projects. So this generates a lot of excitement and also a lot of these kiasu syndromes, and that is why they all rush to the nearby projects and get sold and buy the units that actually possible not their first choice, but actually could be their second or third choice. Okay, moving on to District 10. Okay, the sales in October over there held very steady because they launched Sky at Holland on the 11th of October. And Sky Holland is a 666 units project. Guess how many units they sold on the launch day? It is 658 units, which accounts to 98.8%. Sell within the 2 days of launches. And why is it so? Why? Because the developers actually priced the projects almost the same price as the project next door, One Holland Village Residence, which was first launched in 2019. So imagine when you are buying a new project at about 5-6 years ago prices. That is a great catch. That's why a lot of buyers just jump in and basically snap out all the units, almost all of them, except now currently left only 4 units of 5 bedrooms. So do you want to know when or where is the next project is going to be launched with this kind of pricing? Now over to District 5, we saw another strong performer, Faber Residence. Okay, this location I really like it a lot. But on the other hand, it is not a location where everybody or anybody can accept. But we still see a very strong take-up, 86% during the launch. Okay, I guess it's because of the strong performance from the other launches like Zion Grand, Penreef, and Sky at Holland. They spread over this effect also in this project itself. And of course, undeniable, the price for favorite resident is also very attractive. That is also another attribute that why buyers also jump into these projects during the launch day. Okay, now let's turn to District 19. Okay, it has also a very strong uplift on the sales in October too. Okay, District 19 has no new launches in October. In fact, it doesn't have any new launches for almost a year. The last launch was actually Chuan Park, which was launched in November 2024. Okay, the sales has been picking up, slowly even over post-launch. But October itself is sold 18 units compared to September, which they only sell or sold 7 units. So you can't deny the spillover effects even from a different district as far as District 3, District 10 and District 5 do affect also District 19 here on the post-launch projects. And on top of that, District 19 is always a very favorite area on locations for a lot of buyers. Then that is why the River Cove, which is a EC project, which just recently got their MOP, which is minimum occupation period, had also seen a very good increase of sales, which is a resale, over in October alone itself. In fact, it has been selling for a few months, but October itself, we see a big increase in the take-up for the resale unit there. Okay, to sum it up, the market has actually been very active during the past few months, especially in October. Why? Because of this, what we call massive launches or what we call great projects in good locations. And of course, surprisingly, the pricings by the developer, they were not pushing up whatever is above market rates. They were actually marketed at very reasonable rate. For some units, it had even, I would say, quite cheap in the sense for today's market. And generally, because of the smaller unit that is now the 2 bedrooms in the size, because of the harmonizations. So if you times the per square foot basis, based on those prices, the quantum actually looks quite reasonable and reachable for most Singaporeans. So generally in the market now, whatever you see that be taken up is not foreigners. There's foreigners because of 60% ABSD, they has been out of the market. Whatever you see, the great sales now is all mostly Singaporeans, because all these pricings are within the reach of most Singaporeans. And the reason why? Because if they are upgraded from HDB, which they enjoy very huge profit, if they got it from BTO, even from resale, they had a very huge profit from the sales of the HDB. They can easily upgrade for most of them, especially if they are in late 20s, mid-30s. There's this kind of range where their salary, they're very matured in the sense their income is already quite at a high rate. They can easily afford this. And in the market, I also see a lot of parents which already use up all their quota, which means to say they cannot buy anymore without paying ABSD. They are helping their matured kids, like over 21 years old, to purchase or to secure a unit, which means they actually can foresee the market will move up. If they don't have them now, they probably are afraid that the price will go above reach when their children are able to purchase one or ready to get one. So these are all the elements that add into the effects of the sales. And also one important element that we have been talking about is interest rate. We actually touched on interest rate many years ago, probably 2 years ago, that when the interest rate was very high, their sales figure was very low. Why? Because people are waiting. But recently, interest rate for the past 1 year has been trending down. And Federal Reserve of US had actually reduced twice this year. And they are also looking maybe to reduce another one in December 2025. So all this has triggered the buyer who has been on the sideline all these years to come in. So for those buyers who have been following us, if you have watched us for the interest rate, touch on interest rate a few videos a year or 2 years ago, if you had take action today, you will be reaping in all the benefits that we actually touch on. But for those who has not come into the market, maybe this is still a window, a small window for you to come in, because now the developers are very conscious of their pricing, basically because of the insecurities or probably instability of the economies, the world economies, the world situation like the wars, the tariff. And that's why developers just want to sell off. They don't want to hang on to any more units. and then we move on to the next unit, the next project. So this could be a small window for you to enter it. And if you want to find out which are the top 3 districts you should pay attention to, watch out for our next video. I'll see you soon.